boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome everybody to Top Dog Coverage, where you can get some of the best news, notes, fantasy football advice, takes, predictions, some of the best chit-chat, talk, and maybe just a good time discussing football. How about that?
And some elite takes. Elite takes.
How's it going, C-Dub?
It's another beautiful day.
It is indeed. So we're trying to finish up the Wheel of Destinies. That's what we will be doing today. Is we will be taking two teams, one team from the AFC and one team from the NFC, and we will be placing them on the pedestal today to see what kind of not even camps, but preseasons they're having, and give their prediction of what we believe could be their season look. So far we've gotten through a lot of teams, and we've had a lot of disappointed fans. And hey, shout out to Smack. If you haven't listened to SMAC Smack Talk on TikTok, go to Smack Talk. He had the same predictions we had for the Steelers.
Ooh,
And
really?
not only that, he also had the Ravens beating the Steelers twice. So
Didn't they do that last year?
No, they haven't done it in a long time, as far as I know. I'll have to take a look back, but I've been getting chewed up and spit out by a lot of Steelers fans. So,
soft.
But there is there's no news to talk about today, baby. So no news is good news. That means nobody's hurt. Nobody's upset with their maybe some people are upset with their contracts, but at this moment there is no news in the NFL as we are trying to knock out these teams one by one. So with that being said,
and for the record, the Steelers did beat the Ravens by 2 points their first matchup last year.
Right, but did the Steelers beat?
Yeah, the Steelers beat the Ravens. Did I say that reverse?
No. Well, what we're looking at is the Ravens beating the Steelers twice.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't do it last year, so.
Oh, okay. But let's dive into a little little Wheel of Destiny, baby.
Little wheel action.
Yeah, everybody likes a little wheel action, right? I mean, if you're not here for the wheel, what are you doing, right?
So AFC, start with the AFC?
Yeah, we're gonna start with the AFC today. I'm gonna take something out of your book today, and I'm gonna go with a blue team, and I'm gonna go with the Colts.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's only one white team left, so I'm gonna go with Kansas City.
All right, let's do it. Oh man,
Titans. Cam Ward, baby.
All right,
The future.
Titans, and another one bites the dust.
Man, getting close. Getting close here.
All right. So we have the Titans.
Yep.
And we shall go over to the NFC side. I'm gonna stronghold. I'm gonna take another one out of your book, and I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Eagles with the only white one on this one. Actually,
Ooh,
no.
okay.
You know what? No, I'll stick to blue. I'll go with the Bucks.
Okay, then I'm going to reverse course, and I'm gonna go the Saints.
Didn't know you had it in you.
Yeah. Yes, it worked.
It,
The Bears, baby.
the Bears.
That's
Okay.
the Bears psychology right there.
There you go. That's how you. And we are now done with the NFC North. The NFC North is finito. All right.
Oof, man, I'm gonna have some upset Bears fans at me when we do the predictions.
It's part of the game, my friend. It's part of the game.
So we're down to 8 teams left.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, we're down to eight teams, and is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's can't do much about it. But
so you want to go to Nashville or you want to go to Chicago?
let's go to Nashville. Let's go to Nashville.
Let's go talk some number 1 overall 2025 draft pick, Cam Ward.
Yep. Let's I would like to jump into I want to jump a little bit into this running back room. Okay. We all know Cam Ward. We'll talk about him. Don't worry about it. You know, we're fine. But I want to talk about Tony Pollard. Okay. We've been waiting for a season to come by with Tony Pollard. It seems like he's always getting volume. It seems like he's always getting work, and that's great. It's the production, especially in fantasy, the production of touchdowns that he's not getting, right? And that seems to kind of be the thing with him. But you know, 6 foot 210, right? But then they get this kid, Kalel Mullings, okay, out of
Michigan,
and he's 6'1", 225. That's a Breece Hall, okay. That's a good size dude.
He's also a former linebacker who converted to running back.
There you go.
Just
that is a big size body. I can see them kind of splitting up the work here. If we're being honest, Tony Pollard is still at a good age, and
Pollard's 28. He's got some solid wear and tear on his body, right? But you also got to remember Tajay Spears, who's on injured reserve right now. I think due to either an ankle or knee injury. He'll come back probably around after the 4 games or however long his rehab takes, right? So you don't forget to incorporate him into this mix. But I like Pollard as the guy starting out. But as you said, I think Mullings could definitely be the goal line back and short yardage guy.
Yeah. I'm so this is the thing. You could kind of only go up from here. You know, ranked 31st overall and a 31st overall offense, a 19th in defense, and 27th in special teams. They have a lot of room to grow here, you know, and their defense looks a little bit better than their offense. So having these 2 running backs behind a line that has, you know, Skronsky that was drafted a couple years ago, Cushenberry that was drafted. Zeitler is more so like the elite guard over there, you know. But you still have Latham.
He's older, but he's still playing in fairly high level.
Yeah, very high level. And you know, then you have Dan Moore Jr. over on the left tackle side, right? So,
yeah, I don't know. That contract they gave him is kind of kind of there. But I mean, if they think they can develop, I mean, they have one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. It's Brian Callahan's dad. So the son is the head coach and his father is the offensive line coach. But like this offensive line has high potential, especially bringing a veteran over like Zeitler coming from Detroit. Cushenberry, he was drafted in Denver. I think he signed with them and he was injured last year. So to see him fully healthy starting at center, I think you could really start to see this offensive line gel and kind of build around Cam Ward to protect him. Right. Yeah. I think they're still going to want to run the ball, but you've got a flurry of weapons in this passing game. It's not.
You really do.
It's not just Calvin Ridley.
No, No, and I mean it looks to be as if that might be his favorite guy so far. He's got a lot of
Hmm.
chemistry with him. But look, Tyler Lockett still great hands, for a receiver in the slot. You have Calvin Ridley, and then you have Van Jefferson. And you can't sleep on Van Jefferson. He's been a little bit of a journey guy, not too much, but he's been
Yeah,
the Rams
it-
and
yeah. Rams, Steelers,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Like
but
he's been over.
yeah, but he does what he's supposed to do. He's not a flop by any means. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but then you
He leaves a little bit to be desired, but yeah,
yeah, I mean, well, he is the third wide receiver. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
kind of like you don't really have. I don't have expectations of a
I
third wide receiver.
I can see Alec Iomanner taking over that position, like maybe at the midway mark of the season.
Yeah,
He's the receiver out of Stanford, I believe. But I mean, he was a stud. Like you probably, if you want to see him at his height, watch the game against Colorado last year. He absolutely torched Travis Hunter. I think he had
yeah,
like over 200 something yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns, something like that. But I mean, he's definitely going to be a guy to look out for
yeah.
later on in the season. Like he's a great player.
And they drafted two wide receivers. They really concentrated on their offense. Two wide receivers, a guard, a tight end, a quarterback, a running back. Like that. That I mean, that just kind of solidifies what you're trying to do. You bring in a new coach over there, right? And
Second season.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, second
Yeah,
season,
yeah, I think so.
and he's trying to get his identity over here. You know what I mean? And Cam Ward, bringing Cam Ward over there is great. And then looking at this I actually like the tight end room. Chigakonkwo, Gunnar Helm coming out of Texas, right?
Yep.
6'5", 240. I like him as a second string. If Chig could,
Catch.
if he can, at the end of the year he started doing a lot better, and if he can
He's a
kind of
great athlete. He just has to
yeah,
get more refined as a pass catcher,
yeah,
right? But Gunnar Helm, he keeps the Texas to Tennessee pipeline alive. Like you
yeah.
had Bo Scaife, you had I think Jermichael Finley was over here for a little bit too, wasn't he?
Hmm.
So I mean, you've got a lot of Texas to tight end.
What I do like to see though is that even in these preseasons games, Cam is, he's not taking these seven step dropbacks. He knows where he's got to go at times. There's 3 steps, bam, throw it. You know what I mean, or hand whatever he's got to do. And I think that if he gets into the habit of getting rid of the ball quickly, he'll understand that this offense might run a little bit more smoothly.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think he's very decisive, especially for a
Mhm.
younger player. But he's seen a lot of football. I mean, he had a crazy journey from Incarnate World. He went up to Washington State, ended up at Miami. So he's seen a lot of football. He's one of the least talked about first overall picks like ever.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of talent. He can throw from different arm angles. I'm really excited to see how he does in this offense. Again, like you were saying, that more fast-paced, quick passing game concepts. He's
Hmm.
very decisive, and he can put the ball wherever it needs to be with his receivers. So I'm excited for his rookie year. I think he'll do well.
In the beginning of last year, their defense was actually pretty good. I know it says that they were ranked very, very high, 19th, and I understand that. But in the beginning of the season, they were, I don't want to say lights out, but they were giving offenses problems. They were slowing them down.
Yeah, their offense was the problem.
Yeah, they just couldn't stay on the field. So you're going to wear out your
Yeah,
defense, right? And if they
and
made some significant draft picks here, second, third, and sixth round, to try to get some depth here. Left outside linebacker and their strong safety with Kevin Winston Jr., which I was 100% a fan screaming this guy's name. He has 2% missed tackles, dude. This dude wraps up. Okay. he wraps up. He will tackle the ever living holiness out of you. He's not letting you out of his sight, and he does not miss tackles, and that's what you love to hear. That's what you love to see.
Yeah, I think Kevin Winston Jr. is a really solid player. I think there was an injury that kind of slid him down the board a little bit. Maybe he didn't time as well. It was one of those things. But yeah, so I think he was recovering from an injury last year. But yeah, Oladejo, the second round pick, the pass rusher they took. I mean, he can come in and make an instant impact. He was a fast, fluid athlete. Knows how to use his hands very well. We got to actually interview him down at the Senior Bowl. Our friend Rusty over there at Football Anonymous, I believe is the word. But yeah, I mean, he can definitely add some juice to this defense. You get rid of Harold Landry Jr. or Harold Landry III, who's now with New England. You need some pass rush juice.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and if you look, not for nothing, if you look at this front line, you know, from the right outside linebacker spot to the left outside linebacker spot, that middle spot is very, very well held down. You're talking top 40 players out of 120 out of 4 players. So, you know, you have Arden Key, who is the, you know, ranked 40th out of 120 edge people. And then everybody else is, you know, 8th, 14th, 23rd. Like, that's pretty wild. You know, you have a very, very good, high ranking interior and, you know, at least one side of the line on the right side. So
yeah, Arden Key just hasn't been able to put it all together. He's kind of been a journeyman since being a high pick at LSU, and he's just kind of been all over. He adds a little bit of juice and stuff here and there, but he just hasn't really put it together. James Williams Sr., he's an inside linebacker. He was a converted safety from Miami, so he's got some coverage ability. Might not be a great athlete, having moved from safety to linebacker, but he can run, he can move around a little bit. And I think Cody Barton is a great signing coming over from Denver. You know, a good veteran leader, good veteran linebacker in that room to kind of help be the quarterback of the defense, the signal caller there. So and Draymond Jones, he's got that flexibility. He can play outside, he can play interior, so he can definitely just be a chess piece to kind of move around that defense and use them however they need to.
And you always have big old Jeffrey Simmons ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, and you got T'Vondre Sweat too, who's 350, 360 pounds.
365 pounds, dude. There's no need for that.
He's lost some weight.
Oh, okay. That's wild as the nose tackle. Is that one of the biggest nose tackles in the game?
Has to be. Has to be. That's another Texas legend right there. But I think the secondary is a little underrated.
Yeah, they made some upgrades. You know, you still have Hooker in the back end and strong safety, Amani Hooker, and you know, look, he can make some plays. You know, depending on scheme and such like that. But he's usually a ball hawk. He usually knows where he's supposed to be at times and knows how to break up plays and, you know, read that game. So it'd be interesting to see how they go about it with the new people that are drafted, how soon they get kind of introduced into the role of wherever it is they want to scheme them in. So
yeah, I think L'Jarius Sneed needs to really, like, he dealt with a tremendous amount of injuries last year. He needs to stay healthy and show that he can still be a cornerback one there for that team. But I'm also excited to see what Roger McCreary can do manning that slot position, the nickelback again.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna have a feisty, underrated defense.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't have much else to talk about with them, but it is. I think it's going to try to balance itself out this year. You know, if I'm giving a summary of it, you know, you're starting almost from the ground, and you know, you drafted who you needed to draft, and we're just, you know, they're trying to put it together now. And
yeah, you had the first pick for a reason. So
yeah,
now there's optimism, there's hope. So we'll see what,
you know, you're going to see flashes, you're going to see rookie mistakes, and you know what? I am going to show you that prediction right now.
Well, before we move the prediction, one name I want to highlight, is Xavier Restrepo, who is the all-time leading receiver for the Miami Hurricanes, college teammate of Cam Ward. He's on their practice squad. He's a name that could get moved up onto the active roster throughout the year. He's a really high-level slot player. He ran like a 4.7 at his pro day, so not a tremendous athlete, but he's very quick in and out of his breaks, great route runner, very tough, and good with the ball in his hands. So it'd be a name just to look out for also later on the season when he gets called up.
Yeah, I don't know why they let him go.
He's on their practice squad.
No, I get that, but if he was good enough, I think other people would pick him up, no?
I think he chose to stay with Cam Ward in Tennessee. Because they don't have to sign to other practice squads if they don't want to. I mean, Sam Ehlinger just turned down 53-man roster spots to stay on the practice squad with Denver.
Okay. All right, so let's jump into it. A little bet, and we will find out what we have. All right. The 2025 Tennessee Titans start off in Denver, and I think that home field advantage for Denver is just going to, it's exactly what it is. It's an advantage, and I am going to take Denver at home week 1. Week 2, Tennessee goes home with their opener against the Los Angeles Rams. This could be a little bit of a shootout, but I ultimately believe that Los Angeles will actually take a win, and they go 0-2. Week 3, the Titans are hosting the Colts. I think the Colts come over with Daniel Jones, and I think this time around they find a way to win the Titans and get their first win for the year. Week 4, they're hosted by the Texans. I think that this one might be a little bit too hard for Cam Ward with that defense, so I'm going to give the Houston Texans the win. Week 5, Arizona and Tennessee. This could be a little bit of a shootout. And this is one of those where I actually think that the Arizona Cardinals will squeak out, but not hold it down the whole time. So week 6, going to the Black Hole to visit the Raiders. I think that Cam Ward actually might squeeze this one out over in the Black Hole. And I'm going to give the win to the Titans. It could be back and forth. Week 7, they are hosting the Patriots. I really think that they will have everything rocking and rolling by that time, the Patriots. I'm going to give the win to the Patriots. Week 8, I think the Colts are going to be visiting or hosting the Titans. And I actually see, this is going to sound a little crazy, but I can see the Titans taking them out twice, not really knowing what Cam Ward is. So give me another win for the Titans. Week 9, the Chargers. Look, Chargers just have a really good defense. They're going to be coming at this rookie. Give me the Chargers. Houston Texans, again, coming through into Nashville. I think this time around, Cam Ward and team have a solution to the problem, and I think they take a W at home against the Texans. Week 12, Seahawks coming to the Titans. I think that the Titans might give them a little bit of a run for their money, but I think the Seahawks defense ultimately win. Week 13, the Jaguars are going over to Nashville. Not really having much of a defense. I think this could be a shootout. I'm going to give it to the Titans at home. Week 14, the Browns. This is getting a little bit colder. Hosting the Titans. The Titans are actually going to win this game. I have a feeling they're going to squeak it out in the cold weather. Week 15, San Francisco hosting the Tennessee Titans. I think the San Francisco defense is not going to be able to, or the San Francisco is going to be able to hold down the Titans rookie Cam Ward. So give me the San Francisco 49ers. Week 16, Kansas City Chiefs going over to Nashville. I just think that team is locked and loaded and ready to go. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 17, this could be a shootout either way, but I think Tennessee and the Saints will be a shootout here. And you know what? Give me the Saints. Week 18, Tennessee at Jacksonville. They know they're not in there anymore. They're not in the playoff hunt. They're going to give it everything that they got, but they're still going to fall short with a 6-11 record. Tennessee Titans.
Very, very interesting.
Hmm.
You know, the Titans haven't won in Jacksonville in like 37 years, right?
There you go.
I'm totally kidding. I don't know.
That's all
I'm
we've
sure.
been getting. That's
I'm
all
sure
we've been getting anyway. So
someone will say something like that.
everybody's been saying
Yeah,
stuff like this.
yeah. I think you have too much faith in the Saints there. I don't think they can. They have the talent to win in the shootout.
Hey, look, they can't lose every game, bud.
We could.
You're not going to lose.
There's been an 0-16 team before. Has there ever been an 0-17?
What's the percentage? Exactly. If you got to think about it,
at least 5%. There's a 5% chance.
Okay. Well, I don't think they're going to go 0-17. We can't keep giving every single one of them a loss.
They're not going to, but guy could dream.
I hear you. But with that being said, let's go on over to. I messed it up.
The Bears,
Chicago. The Bears. I'm trying to find out where there it is. Chicago. All right. So the Bears also making a bunch of adjustments too. You want to start off with this one?
Yeah. Do you want to start with the offense? Or you want to start with the defense?
Let's go with the offense since Ben Johnson went over there.
All right. So I mean, this offense, you bring in your first round pick, Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. I think he went a lot earlier than we anticipated, but he's a great athlete, good player. You take Ozzy Trapillo in the second round. Your other second rounder, you take Luther Burden the third, slot receiver out of Missouri. You take a 6th round guard, Luke Newman, and then you take Kyle Monangai, 7th round pick out of Rutgers at running back. So what's up?
I just think Monangai is such a sleeper.
He's a good player. He never fumbled once in college. He's not a great athlete, but I mean, he's rushed over 1,000 yards multiple times.
What is he, a 7th rounder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who else was a 7th rounder that came from Rutgers?
Isaiah Pacheco.
There you go.
So similar. I don't know if they're similar players. I think Pacheco's a better athlete, but definitely
something's going on over there in Rutgers, though.
He's definitely in a good system over there. You know, Ben Johnson likes to use 2 running backs. So who's going to be the Thunder to DeAndre Swift's Lightning? I think good possibility that they're not done making some moves with this running back room, because you have Roschon Johnson, was a 4th round pick in 2023 from Texas. He's a bigger back and he's talented, but he's hurt right now too. So
yeah,
you got some talent in this backfield for sure. But I think this is all going to hinge kind of on Caleb Williams' development. How is he going to look in his second year in a more complicated offense? It's going to be more of a quarterback-friendly offense, right? Once you get down the terminology and hit the expectations of what Ben Johnson has for him. But he looked great against the Bills. He was very quick and decisive, made right decisions. He was on time with the ball. And then with the Chiefs, he was running around and trying to play off script and took quite a few sacks, so which Caleb are we going to get? One that likes to hold on to the ball too much and play Superman, or the one that's going to be on time and get the ball where it needs to be?
Yeah. And it's not like he doesn't have weapons. He's got weapons. Even Zacchaeus in that slot, great weapon. With Luther
such an underrated receiver.
He is, absolutely. And you got Luther Burden III sitting right behind him in that second round. And then you have Odunze and DJ Moore, right? I mean, you got players here, right? Like, you have players. And Devin Duvernay, look, he's a good depth chart guy. He's been around, okay?
Great returner.
Yeah. And I give so much credit for this GM going out and solidifying this offensive line. Okay? Like, their line, now they have depth too. You have players on this line that are basically top 25 players, every one of them, for offensive line. Now they just got to execute. On top of that, you're going to tell me that you got Ozzy Trapillo in the second round out of Boston College, 6'8", 312 pounds. That's a big dude. Okay, that's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then you went in the 6th round and you doubled down on guard. You know, and look, that's what you need. You need depth. You're only as good as your depth. You got Joe Tooney there that you traded for Kansas City, I believe was last year.
One of the best guards in the NFL.
Look, this has the potential to go really, really good. And like you said, it all depends on Caleb Williams progressing forward, right? Because they have the tools, they have the offensive line, they have the weapons, they have the running backs. Let's go over to the defense, because the defense they also have. Their defense was ranked last year 13th. Okay? That's middle of the road, and I understand that. On the other hand, if you can have a decent, Green Bay has done this a couple times, you can have a decent defense with a good offense, you can make a lot of moves. You can get more wins. Not a lot of. Now, I'm not saying you could, they might be close games, but you can win games by a field goal. Just got to keep you in the game. That's all.
Win's a win. I mean, they finished 13th last year, and that was after Eberflus was fumbling around running the team. You had Caleb's up and downs, right? So, I mean, that defense can be the backbone to kind of help, lead the team to certain victories. They have a great pass rushers in Montez Sweat, who they got from Washington. You bring in Deo Odingabo, right? Maybe from Indianapolis, who has inside-outside flexibility. You bring in Grady Jarrett, longtime Atlanta Falcon. Your Javon Dexter Sr., second-round pick in 2023. You're hoping he continues on with his development. You take Shamar Turner in the 2nd round. So, I mean, you've got a lot of potential on this defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy that I think really has some high potential, he was the defensive end they took. He's on the injured reserve right now, so I think he's dealing with an injury, but he's got a lot of potential. Is Austin Booker, the edge rusher from, I believe, Kansas, they took last year.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So if he's able to make it back this season, I think he's got the sky's the limit for him. He's a young ascending player. He's got speed and athleticism, great hand usage. So it's somebody that I think could really make an impact down the road with them. But
you say Austin Booker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you got 2 solid veteran guys in the linebacker room as your starters. You got TJ Edwards, who came over from Philadelphia, and Tremaine Edmonds, who came over from Buffalo. All right, that's a great 1-2 punch right there.
And you got Dennis Allen running this defense.
He's a much better defense coordinator than he is head coach.
Yeah. Look, they have everything together. And we've seen what happens when you can come in, put your foot down, and kind of make it your team. DeMeco Ryan did that. He did that in 1 year. It's hard. I'm not saying it's easy. It's hard to do, but he did it. In 1 year, I understand it was quarterback play with Joe Burrow, but 1 year, all of a sudden it turned it around. You know what I mean? Like there's things.
Ryan's Joe Burrow?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I said with teams. So DeMeco Ryan did it. And in 1 year I said, I understand it's the quarterback more so the play of the quarterback.
Oh, okay.
But the Bengals turned it around, when they got Joe Burrow, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they were competitive, This team has already so many keys that are actually kind of solidified. The offensive line, the defense, the weapons around him. Like you said, it's all about Caleb Williams now. How are you going to do this? Can you do this? Because if not, they got to find somebody else.
Yeah, but I think absolutely 1,000% he is the guy to do it.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the other stuff, but Caleb Williams, what we saw at USC, he had his ups and downs, but you saw the talent.
Yeah.
He can make any throw. He's a good enough athlete that he can run and be make moves and maneuver in the pocket, whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think this is year we see a completely different Caleb Williams. I think we see more of what we saw in the Buffalo Bills preseason game compared to what we saw in the Kansas City one.
Yeah.
And a lot of teams are going to try to scheme against him and bring pressure, really apply pressure on that offensive line. But they completely changed that interior offensive line, both guards and the center. You spent a lot of money, spent valuable assets. I think that's going to really help Caleb Williams grow and exceed and do well this season.
Yeah.
I think he's the guy.
Well, let's see how good they are going to do, Mr. Whisk.
All right.
Show me.
So, for the 2025 Chicago Bears, you have the Minnesota Vikings.
Bears.
So, week 1, you have the Minnesota Vikings visiting the Chicago Bears. So, I think this one, I don't think the Vikings are going to be as good. I think they have a lot of injuries that they're dealing with. So, give me Chicago at home. Week 2, you have the revenge game, Ben Johnson and the Bears visiting the Detroit Lions. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring game. I think there's going to be a lot of emotion to it, but I think the Lions will take the win here. Week 3, you have the Cowboys visiting the Chicago Bears. Dallas is kind of in shambles right now after the Micah Parsons trade, so going to give me Chicago at home. Week 4, you have the Bears visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, this is a very interesting game. I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better, but going to give me the Bears on the road here. Week 5, early bye week, going to get that out of the way. Week 6, you have the Chicago Bears visiting the Washington Commanders. Again, this was a pivotal game in last year, so kind of changed the trajectory for both teams. But going to give me Washington to take the win here. Week 7, you have the New Orleans Saints visiting the Chicago Bears. I will be attending this game. Doesn't matter. Chicago is going to win at home. Week 8, you have the Bears visiting the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be one of those teams that I think is going to be a little bit too much for Caleb when he's going to start to show some of those bad habits. So going to give me the Ravens at home. Week 9, you have the Bears visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and company is going to be too much. Going to give me the Bengals at home. Week 10, you have the New York Football Giants visiting the Chicago Bears. We know how the how the Giants are going to be this year. Toughest schedule in the league. Give me the Bears at home. Week 11, you have the Bears visiting the Minnesota Vikings. I think this could be one of those weird division games, but I think the Bears are going to end up sweeping them. So going to give me the Bears on the road. Week 12, you have Pittsburgh visiting the Chicago Bears. Veteran defense, you got some good stuff over there from Mike Tomlin. I think this is going to be too much for Caleb. Going to give me the Steelers on the road. Week 13, you have the Bears visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a fascinating game on so many levels, but I think Philadelphia is the superior team, so going to give me Philly. Week 14, you have the first matchup, Bears visiting the Packers. Packers are putting all their chips in. They make the Micah Parsons deal. Give me Green Bay at home. Week 15, you have the Cleveland Browns visiting the Chicago Bears. We both know that Cleveland Browns are just not going to be it this year. Going to give me Chicago at home. Week 16, you have the Packers visiting the Chicago Bears. I think this is going to be one of those weird games, and I think Chicago pulls it off. I think they split the series this year. Week 17, you have the Bears visiting the 49ers. We have no idea who's going to be healthy on this team, so I think you get another upset on the road. Give me Chicago on the road. And then week 18, you have the Lions visiting Chicago Bears. I think this could be one of those win and in series. It's going to be the last game of the season on that Sunday Night Football. Again, Ben Johnson versus Dan Campbell. Who's going to win? Give me the Bears at home. They make the playoffs 10-7.
Wow. They make the playoffs 10-7.
And they do it beating Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell. It's a script that not even the NFL can write. Only I can.
That is a C-dub. That is a C-dub script right there.
Certified C-dub right there.
Certified
Gotcha.
C-Dub.
Shout out to all the Bears fans. Shout out
to
my boy David.
Shout outs to all the Bears fans. They are gonna love you right now, dude.
Maybe, I don't know. They're probably gonna be like, "Nah, this dude's smoking crack. He ain't."
Yeah, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
splitting the series with the Packers, they did it last year, so anything's possible. I believe in Caleb. Maybe that's my downfall. I think Caleb's the guy.
It's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility, but I mean, look, anything can happen. We've talked about anything being able to happen. It is the NFL. Fluky things happen. Weird games happen. Some have a great game. Some have a down week. And, some of the best just don't have it some weeks. And some do. Right? But the one thing I would say is that I believe that we have it as Top Dog Coverage. Okay? So if you can, follow us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Swipe up. Hit the 5 stars. Leave the comments. Let C-Dub know that you love him. All right? Because he's giving a lot of love today to Chicago. He's letting you know that he's out there. He's going to even be at the game that he knows he's going to lose at. Okay, that is 100% some sort of a Bears fan at one point or another. Okay.
No, not quite. Not quite. Right there.
Well, he's giving you all the tools to like him. That's for darn sure. Okay, so, but yeah, I mean, other than that, hit the like button, subscribe. We love you guys. We are days away from kickoff. And
can we email us your hot takes? What's your hot takes for the season?
Hot takes, topdogcoverage@gmail. TOPDAWG coverage@gmail.com. We thank you. We love you. Stay blessed. Peace.
Peace.